Previously on
Protect the princess!
That is it. I'm getting you a doctor now.
No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare call no damn doctor, Aldous!
If we didn't get him a doctor, then...
You don't get it, do you?
Get what? What is there to get?
You've been his side for too long, then, Albie. Even I could see what was going on through that head of his. Get out of here for a little while and come back with a fresh perspective. Then you know what I'm talking about.
I have absolutely no idea what you're trying to tell me.
For the love of all matter, Albie, if you really care about that stubborn bastard, you'll leave him the hell alone. Let him go about his business.
Hertzwan?
This is for her own good, Albus. I ain't gonna repeat this, so listen up. If Sid wants to spend his final days doing whatever the hell his heart desires, then you need to let the man die. Bruh, what? Yo!
I don't believe it. It's Rune.
What the hell is this thing?
Chapter 6. Bash. Beyond the line of the magic. Achievement unlock.
Is that a new automation prototype for the sister project?
No, Kirky! That's a living, breathing human!
But it can't be human, Volvo. Not even since survived the emergency protocol. And the lack of the pulse put the final nail in the coffin. The only thing that made the automation appear lifelike was the light reflecting off the internal cameras.
Oh! It moved! Kirky! When did you say that? When did you say that?
Somebody must have engaged its boot-up sequence. Did you two touch it?
No, Elvis, neither of us made physical contact, except for Kirky, who was checking for the pulse.
Yo!
Huh?
Can it speak? Does it even have an interrogate vocal bank?
Hello, world?
I totally forgot which one's which voice. Kirky's, Does that answer your question, Valdo?
What is your name?
Name? What is a name? It appears as if its data bank was not integrated before activation. Damn it, Sid.
Well, a name is a word that is so unique, it only pertains to yourself, such as an identifier. For example, my name is Volthal, and the fellow with the ponytail over there is my contemporary Kirky, I mean. The bespectacled gentleman over there is Albus, and the next to him is Rudo.
Rudo? Mr. Rudo?
Curious, it appears. That is has a prior association with your name, sir. But how?
Rudo. Brother?
That's impossible, Kirky. You have neither a name nor identifier, correct?
Identifier? A name and identifier that pertains only to me. I have no recollection of any entry matching those parameters. But for some reason, there was a name that I was once affiliated with.
No recollection. No issue. You will be known as Sara from this moment onwards.
Sara? Isn't that an acronym for the Project Conceptual Report? Snaps.
Sarah, isn't that an acronym for the Project Conceptual Report? SNAP's Architecture Review and Assessment? Why would you give it that name?
Sarah.
Indeed. Henceforth, when asked for your identifier, you'll give your name as Sara, and nothing else.
Understood.
Is this automation destined to be used for the sister project? Will it be deployed to the Abbey?
Abby? What? Abby?
Oh, that's right, Kirky. It all happened before you joined our growing family. Before Sid's wife passed away, they made an arrangement to design and develop an automation for exclusive use at the Abbey in Cadia. They will be deployed at the Abbey in order to protect the Abbey's sister against the more violated patients who were all casualties of daily P1 injections. Ultimately, they couldn't conceive a working prototype that had everything that a normal human being would naturally possess. And the Abbey opted out. Opt out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't physiological, but the lack of soul that turned the Abbey away from the prospect of having constant protection. Good riddance. That would have been an utter and complete waste of our resources. Several days later, we discovered abnormal accounting errors in the general ledger. Apparently, Sid directed fundings from several other projects and cooperation functions towards the sister project, resulting in the creation of this one automation prototype. Sid didn't leave any messages or will of any sort, did he?
Not on paper. If he kept anything on his personal matter terminal, it's all good now. The emergency protocol overloaded the device's circuitry with colored mana.
What about his platter? Sid always carried a personal platter with him at all times. He kept all of his notes and observation there.
The platter you are referring to, has been discovered. Burnt to a crisp.
Are you certain of this?
Positive!
In addition to more unfortunate news, we discovered that Sid has destroyed every known or written pieces of media from the past few years. Based on our findings, in Lab 9 alone, we can only conclude that Sid intentionally destroyed anything that could have been indicative of a motive or his work.
But that leads to a conundrum. If he wanted to destroy all material evidence before taking his own life, why did he not also destroy the prototype?
I suspect that has something to do with the breakdown between himself and the Abbey. After some convincing from Eline, Sid promised the Abbot that he would provide automaton, with the appearance of the human. But ultimately, the Abbot declined Sid's offer. I suppose the automation could be part of the legacy that failed agreement. Although a poignant reminder of his failure on an incredibly short list of them, the completion of Sara would signify redemption, his masterpiece.
Somehow, I doubt that one last chance at redemption was his largest motivation factor.
What makes you say that?
If it was redemption that Sid was after, why did he stop with just this one automaton? Yeah, wouldn't fulfill the original agreement have been a more redeeming motivator? Instead, he did the opposite by burning all of his notes and research materials.
I'm telling you, Kirky, he wasn't thinking about Steven's enterprise when he created Sara. He was thinking about self-redemption. Sid Stevens was always the sort of scientist who took everything very personal. Everything he did to fund this project, albeit through illegal means, was mean to an end, with vindictions as his primary motivator.
But that doesn't answer why he would feel so compelled to destroy all of his work. I cannot help but feel there was another motive at work here, yeah.
Gentlemen, you are both sorely mistaken. If there is one thing I learned about my father, it was to never attempt an analysis for cognitive comprehension. The madame, or the madman I mean, is now dead and gone from this world. We need not descend into madness in order to ascertain madness. Rudo, there is nothing more to discuss, Albus. We have better things to look ahead towards. For starters, the sizable finance that my father had used in order to fund the production of this prototype. Without documentation to describe its main utility, the recovery of the finance that were lost, as well as the value of the automaton, remain highly dubious. I suggest we raise this issue at our next board meeting. I will make the arrangements to call for an emergency meeting. Gentlemen, you may resume your daily task. Until further notice, Lab 9 will remain sealed.
Very well. As much as I like to analyze your father's motivations, I realize that no conclusion may ever be reached.
Agreed. I will also reserve my judgment for this, or for later. Please inform when the emergency meeting will convene.
Rudo, we need to speak.
We may speak, only on the condition that it does not pertain to the elephant in the room.
Enough, Rudo. Look at that automaton. Doesn't its appearance not remind you of a certain someone? Of all the people Sid modeled this after... He chose to model it after your little sister Rune. Does that not have some sort of meaning to you?
Albus, do you sincerely believe that I did not also share the exact same observation?
If you did take notice, why did you not verbally address the matter directly?
What matter needs to be verbally addressed? The matter of her appearance, which is an exact replica of Rune's? What purpose would such a trivial announcement serve? Rune, like my father and mother, is gone from this world, and nothing can ever contest that irrefutable fact. If there's one matter that needs addressing, it is this.
What is it?
Sid Zivitz truly was a sick, dying man. And while dying in solitude, he created a product of a bygone era. The deceased daughter who would never succeed him. What would the outer pole make of Sid Zivitz if people ever knew that he had, in his final days, created an automaton in the image of his dead daughter? The issue at hand now is managing the sums that were lost due to my father's ill appropriation of company finances. I'd advise that you do well not to disclose this to anyone else. Albus, we need not cause unwarranted concern for the board of directors.
On that, we may agree.
I sincerely hope that the automaton proves useful. Otherwise, we have to write it off as a complete waste of corporate finances. Albus, it's almost time to convene for our emergency meeting. If you're ready, then we should be on our way.
Kirk's voice. I vote nay! I mean, look at it! It appears to be lifelike. Anyone could mistake it for an ordinary girl. Has anyone on this board ever seen anything so miraculous? A machine that appears so human. Nobody would ever think twice. Yes, its creator may have destroyed all material evidence which could have been indicated for his motivation. But this is the final work of the ingenious Sid Zivitz. I motion that Sara be kept under observation until we can piece together the reason behind the conception.
Girlies, what the fuck is boys?
Looks can be deceiving and equally devious. After all,
The emotional depth of this automaton is literally skin deep. But I see where you're coming from, Kirky. It does appear far too convincing to be anything other than a human. Why does it look so solid? Is it in your programming to invoke an awkward mood? With that disgusting expression of yours?
No, not that I'm aware of.
An automaton with a victed emotional depth and tone. From these findings, I may safely presume that this automaton truly was meant to be a part of the sister projects. Sid really did create this one final masterpiece as a means to redemption in order to deploy it into the Cadian Abbey. This prototype was produced for the purpose of protecting the Abbey's sister.
Huh. I found that doubtful. All speculation aside, I vote yay for dismantlement and disposal. It may possess a compact frame, but it also exerts a force of 10 strong men. How could we ever hope to stop it? Should it rebel against our collective will?
Twinkle Girlies! I feel that it may have helped if you listen to the whole fucking conversation. We all know very well where you stand. Now, aside from your insistent, unwarranted paranoia, is there anything else that you wish to contribute, huh?
I gave my honest opinion, as we ask of me, before your excessively long explanation. While you may see the technical side of this matter, it does not make your opinion any more important than my own.
Board member F,
To tell you all the truth, I showed Director Girlies his reservations as well. Who knows what processes are running within the cranium of this automaton. Even now, I cannot, in good faith, say that I feel completely comfortable with this machine nearby.
I find that both of your concerns are absolutely groundless. If it is, as you say, capable of killing us all because we do not know what it's thinking, then why has it not acted on those fears yet? Because it does not know anything, that's why. Its mind is a blank slate, and it is in the process of learning everything spoken in its boardroom. I'd advise you all to approach Sara with an open mind. Additionally, I do not believe that Sid's final intent was to create an automaton capable of causing indiscriminate harm.
Who can say that Sid intended? Can you truly say that Sid didn't create this thing for the purpose of harming others after his death? Huh? When he could escape all responsibility?
Board member D, enough with this fruitless exchange of conjectures. The purpose of this meeting is to address the matter of the money, the very money that was funneled into the finding of Sara's creation. Was it created to be catalyst for the debate concerning the intention for our late founder? No! Now clearly, Sara was created for some purpose, but for the finance that were poured into foundings and creations, it better damn well pay it off in the long run. We desperately need to figure the fuck out how to mitigate this loss.
We require a probationary period, which will be used to ascertain Sara's functioning utilities. Yeah.
I suppose that one proposal that I actually find feasible enough to condone. I advise the rest of you to vote on this matter.
With support from the majority of the board of directors, it was decided that Sara would be placed under supervised observation. Several weeks afterwards, it became evident that Sara's memory capacity for learning was growing, while it began exhibiting unique personality traits. In the early stage of this probation period, Sara would often take to task almost dejectedly, but as time passed, the defining line between human and machine became too blurred to discern. At first, there was a noticeable divide among the ranks of the directors,
and how they regarded Sara as a possible threat to their lives. These unfounded concerns, too, were quickly dispelled after they gradually acknowledged that Sara bore no ill will towards anyone. There was a point during the trial period when I was tasked with supervising Sara's performance at the company's mana mine.
Ooh! Wow! Are those all first-generation automatons for the sister project? There's so many, Mr. Falster!
Yo! This is something new, yeah!
The grand majority of the worker here, or sisters I should say, as you may refer to them, are automatons related to the project, over 90%, in fact.
Good morning, everyone! Good morning! It's a pleasure to meet you, acquaintance!
These sisters do not issue verbal responses, so yeah. Speech was not seen as an integral part of their line of working during the conception stage.
I see. But that does seem awfully lonely, being the only one who can speak.
Do you feel that lacking conversational partner is quite lonesome, Sara?
Mr. Falster?
Is lonely how you truly feel?
Well, let's see. Why did I think it felt lonely? I'm not certain how it's supposed to feel, but the first thought that came to mind was the word loneliness.
Yo, this robot's got the feels.
Sara did its due diligence that day. It worked far more efficiently than I had previously imagined, but compared to the first-generation sisters, which were all optimized for labor and mana dowsing, there was absolutely no contest. Clearly, Sara had not been convinced for the purpose of laboring away in the mana mine. By that point in time, despite Sara's unusual personality traits, we determined that it was not optimized to do any one task more efficiently than other sisters. Sara's memory capacity is increasing day by day. All sisters were implemented with a memory limit, but Sara seems limitless. I'm curious to know what sort of memory capacitor Sid integrated.
Shall we dismantle it once in order to determine what makes it tick? I would say that dismantlement is the most practical method for satiating your curiosity, Alvis.
I'd rather not.
Fuck, Rune, fuck, Rudo, damn.
Even if we did dismantle Sara, I wouldn't be able to piece it back together. That Rudo is the general consensus of Lab 9 staff. In addition, the board of directors will not approve of its immediate dismantlement, not while they're seeking to fill the full financial gap your father left.
Excuse me.
Yes, Sara?
I don't think my real name is Sara.
Come again?
I'm not sure how to describe this, but I remember that a long time ago, I was named Rune. Yes, my name used to be Rune.
What? Huh? What else? What else do you remember?
And you were my big brother, Rudo.
Sara? You must be mistaken. I have no recollection of having a little sister with that name. Do you believe that I would ever forget my own sister's name? Everything that you think you know, your memories, your name, all of it, is nothing but a vial. A vial draped upon you by your creator, Sid Zevitz, his final act of lunacy, if you will. Nevertheless, Sara, I have a command I want you to abide by. Never utter that name. Ever again.
Understood.
Days, weeks, and months passed after the startling revelation, and although very little changed for Sara's probation, Rudo's demeanor had undergone a subtle transformation. But ultimately, the question that had continuously tortured my mind was the purpose. Why did Sid attempt to resurrect his long-deceased daughter in the form of an automaton? Would having a vivid reminder of her existence have helped assuage him of lifelong guilt? If that was the intent, then why did he not also reconstruct her persona down to the very last detail? Why didn't Sid program her to give her name as Rune? Why didn't he integrate every single one of her mannerisms?
Your purpose serves a little purpose, Kirky.
That's not true, Chief Director! Sid, your father, had created Sara to serve and protect the sister of Katie Abbey. And of this, I'm certain. Just days ago, I brought Sara to that very abbey and introduced it to the abbot who declined your father's offer. He couldn't even tell that Sara was an automaton until after the fact.
And what purpose did that action serve? Only to reform their xenophobia, huh? When they've already given their final word in the matter? I must share a similar disdain to the abbot. Nobody would be foolish enough to be so trusting of the soulless machine, especially one that looks so deceptively lifelike. I still do not feel comfortable having this thing around us. There's no telling what process are running in that back of its head, and you can never tell what it's around. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Director Growlies. Although, the directors here, particularly Lab 9 staff, feel that Sara's presumed emotional output are both unique and unorthodox as a mana-dowsing automaton. What purpose does an exhibition of emotion ultimately serve, in terms of being an essential asset for the company? If any of you could provide an example on how these traits would help mitigate the losses that were suffered from financing this project, I would love to hear it.
An example?
The Abbey has issued an edict on the matter and is unlikely to rescind it. If Sara cannot be deployed to assist the Abbey sisters, then there's little use left for it. And if we were to continue forcing our splintered support for Sara's existence on them, we would be sowing discord between ourselves and our greatest ally for the Demons Medica group. If we deploy Sara to a hospital, the Abbey will voice their displeasure. If we deploy Sara to the Abbey, we will be burning a vital bridge. In essence, any proposals for future expansion of the sister project for deployment to healthcare facilities at least are no longer under consideration.
Why are you so desperate to discredit your father's final work? Think about it, Rudo. Sara is the only automaton in the entire outer pole that possesses any semblance of emotional output. If Sid was capable of creating something so revolutionary in his final days of life, he could have been on something here. It could be even bigger than his initial ambition of proliferating the outer pole with sustainable alternative energy. And what's more, Sara's memory capacity is growing day by day. It can't process new information and even exhibit emotion as well, correct? Sara's existence alone has changed everything we knew pertaining to human interactions with self-aware artificial intelligence. While it may be infeasible at this point to consider further expansion of the sister project, that does not mean that we should disregard this final masterpiece.
Fuck, you people. I share my colleague's sentiment. At the very least, I am opposed to Sarah's immediate dismantlement. Why does this particular discourse sound so fucking familiar? Director Foster, what is your opinion on this matter? My opinion.